guys ready? To learn a lot about Tiffany. So this is raw and unfiltered. Yes. Be prepared. All right. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm good.
Are you ready to tell us all about yourself
Yes.
and everything you do?
Yes.
How you benefit the lives of people? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number one.
Okay.
When someone asks what you do and you only have one sentence, what do you say?
I am registered nurse Tiffany Carpio, owner of Florida Weight Loss and Anti-Aging Center, and I specialize in helping individuals overcome weight loss resistance, reverse the signs of aging, restore energy, clarity, confidence, and sexual and urinary function by targeting the root causes affecting their health.
Yeah. How about that? What led you to do what you do today?
I'm going to tell you guys why I became a nurse, and I'm going to do this the Den way. So everyone close your eyes. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as me in high school, walking down the hallways, lockers lining both sides, your hand on your tummy, which is big and pregnant, and you're in a situation you never imagined yourself being in, and all the eyes of all your fellow students are on you. Now open your eyes. So I became pregnant at 16. Had my daughter. She's 21 now. When I was 17. And that basically skipped my whole young adult years and put me right into motherhood from being a kid. And I needed, my boyfriend dumped me right after I became pregnant, and I knew I was going to be a single mom, and I needed a career that was dependable, that I would make enough money to support my daughter and I, and that's why I chose to become a nurse.
Yeah, strong, independent woman. Okay. What does your business look like right now, and what are you focused on this season?
So I'm going to tell you guys about my business and what we do. So the business started with weight loss and two main weight loss programs. So we have a natural weight loss program, and that is a 9-week program. It's the fastest weight loss program. It focuses on detoxing your body of heavy metals and toxins and resetting your metabolism at a cellular level. The average weight loss is 20 to 40 pounds in that 9-week period, and that's all natural nutraceuticals and an approved foods list that you would follow for 2 months. And then we do the medical weight loss, which is your GLP-1 medication. So that's your semaglutide, which is the compounded version of Ozempic and Wegovy, and tirzepatide, and that's the compounded version of Mounjaro and Zepbound. And that's a weekly injection. And how that works is they both mimic the GLP-1 hormone receptor, which is a natural hormone receptor in the body. It's what tells your brain you're full and to stop eating. So it amplifies that signal. So after eating just a few bites or half as much food as you would normally eat, your body tells you, your brain tells you you're full and to stop eating. It also slows down your digestion, so you hold on to your food longer, making you be able to go longer in between meals. And it helps regulate your blood sugar, which is why it's prescribed for diabetics. The tirzepatide medication is the newer one, and it tends to work a little bit faster because it also mimics your GIP hormone receptor, which is responsible for food reward centers in the brain. So it's what associates food with pleasure. So it does better at turning off that food chatter, so you're not thinking about food, going to food out of boredom or emotional eating. You're just not thinking about food as much. It's not consuming, your mind. And then we also do the laser lipo or lipo laser, and that targets fat in certain parts of your body. It actually works by making the fat into a more soluble, liquefied form, and it lasts for 72 hours, but then it's your lymphatic system's job to get the fat out of your body while it's in that more soluble state. So you would want to drink tons of water. We have you stand on the vibration plate for 10 minutes after, but you also should be walking or moving for 72 hours and trying to limit carbs and fats on your own for that to work. And we target like the waist, the thighs, the arms, the neck, and the face areas that people want to lose fat in. So that all came with the business when we bought it last summer. And what we've been adding is the anti-aging services to go along with it, because I've always wanted to do aesthetic nursing. So we added the NAD plus. That's an anti-aging injectable medication. So it's a coenzyme found in every cell of the body, and it starts to deplete around our 30s to 40s, and that's what causes the aging process from your skin getting wrinkly, your hair getting thin, your joints aching, having low energy and brain fog, trouble thinking and focusing and memory. So when you introduce that back into the body, which you want to do via injectable or IV form, because an oral supplement, only about 8% of it is going to get to the cellular level. So it's just not going to have that big of an impact, where it needs to. So when you introduce that, the biggest things you're going to notice are increase in energy, like a pure form of energy, waking up feeling refreshed and ready to go, and mental clarity, or like a higher cognitive functioning. But over time, your hair and skin and your joints will improve. It helps with recovery from injury or illness or workout, recovery and things like that. And then what we're focusing on the most now is our Emsella pelvic floor strengthening chair. And that uses high FEM, so it's high intense focused electromagnetic technology to stimulate deep pelvic floor muscle contractions to build your pelvic floor muscles, lift it up so it holds all your reproductive organs up where they're supposed to be, and also helps with control and it helps control and connect neural pathways in neuromuscular pathways in that area, so you have better function and control. So it's good for urinary incontinence, stress incontinence, urinary urgency, frequency, nocturia, but it also helps with erectile dysfunction in men, and it helps with vaginal lubrication for women, as well as increasing those pleasure centers. So it helps increase the frequency and intensity of orgasms. So that is our main focus. We have a launch party next month on March 19th. I'll put it in the, what's the app again? Discord.
I always want to call it Concord.
And then we're also adding anti-aging skin treatments as well. So microneedling and the Plasma IQ device, they both help diminish the signs of fine lines, wrinkles, and smoothen skin texture and tone.
I had the pleasure of going in and interviewing her last week, and unfortunately we ran out of time and I was not able to sit on that Emsella seat. A little scared, but a little intrigued. But all right, so I know you said that you wanted to get into aesthetics and you had your daughter when you were 16, and then that's when you got into nursing. What did you do in between? I mean, because you just moved from Boston. There was a lot in between.
Yes, there was. So I've been a nurse for 17 years. I actually met my husband right before I started nursing school. So I didn't really have to be the single mom for very long, because I went from my parents' house to moving in with my now husband. She was 2 when we met. And yeah, I went straight from nursing school graduation to moving to Boston from Vermont. I'm from Vermont, St. Albans, right near the Canadian border. I met my husband in Burlington, Vermont. And so moved to Boston. I started as an inpatient psychiatric nurse, which was a wonderful experience to start my foundation of nursing. A very intense environment, but the skills of crisis de-escalation, intervention, and communication, because I was pretty much like a therapist.
And you were there for how long in the psych?
I did that for 6 years at 2 different major psychiatric hospitals in Boston. And I worked my way up to unit manager. I was unit manager when I left because I actually was pregnant with our first son together. While I was unit manager, and because I was, the boss of that unit, I was the target for like everyone's psychosis. I always had clients that thought I was pregnant with their baby. The psychiatrist would come in the office after meeting with them and be like, yeah, I met with so-and-so, you're having his baby, he hates this person because of this, and you're the topic of all the conversations. But also I was the target for the clients that were more aggressive, because whenever there was like a rule or someone lost their privileges, I was the one to blame. So it was hard. It was very stressful. I actually, during the time I was pregnant working there, they actually took me off the floor for a little bit, and I was the nursing supervisor of the whole hospital for a little bit. And I also tried utilization review, getting insurance authorizations for patients' ongoing psychiatric stay. So I got a lot of experience with that. Then I did home health for 5 years as a home health case manager, and that built my like more nursing skills. So doing IVs, wound care, wound vac treatments, education on comorbidity management, medication management. So that was good. And then I did utilization management for insurance companies and got to see the back end of how the insurance approval process works, and going over the explanation of benefits. And yeah, so that was good experience too. But then 2020 hit, and COVID, and all of our family was in Florida, and we just felt really isolated during that time, having our son Xavier, who's 12 now with Down syndrome, and then two other little boys. I always felt like I needed family nearby, and that I think it just hit harder, I think, when COVID hit and my husband finally agreed to move to Florida. So yeah, we moved here in 2020, and in 2020 I started working again for a home health agency. I was only in the field for a few months before I took a clinical supervisor position in the office. And so I've been working in administration for a home health agency locally up until my husband saw the weight loss center for sale last spring and was like, hey, what do you think of this? And I always wanted to like branch off. I've been talking about, doing aesthetic nursing. I talked about being a legal nurse consultant, doing something else, because having Xavier with his, needs and everything, it is challenging to get to a desk on time and, feel like I'm being torn into two positions. So it seemed like a good idea, and we researched it, and yeah,
It seems like
we did it.
you enjoy being hands-on as well.
I do.
And your desk
Yeah.
jobs were not fulfilling your needs.
Right. It
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was a lot, and yeah, repetitive stuff. So
How has your business changed from when you started to today?
yeah, so I kind of touched on that a little bit. Sorry if I was answering like the wrong question.
We're all
Um,
all over the place.
So yeah, it was just weight loss, the natural weight loss, the medical weight loss, and the lipo laser. And so we added the anti-aging to it. It was called Florida Weight Loss Center. Still on Google, it's Florida Weight Loss Center, which is quicker to say. So I'll sometimes say that too, than Florida Weight Loss and Anti-Aging Center, which is what we changed the name to.
Which aspect of those light you up the most?
Of the services that we
What's
provide?
your favorite to do?
The weight loss. Yeah, the weight loss programs, because people who want to lose weight, they usually have medical or low energy or things that go along with it. So being able to talk to them and hear how good they feel, and their weight loss that's happened and everything that comes along with that's the best part of the job, is talking to people who are excited about their results.
Who do you do your best work for, and who are you not a good fit for?
I do my best work for everybody because I put my all into the job, but best clients for me would be someone who is ready, motivated, and ready to invest in their health and do something about it right now. Because a lot of people will click on the ad that they see on Facebook and like, yeah, I'd like to lose weight, but you get used to the way your body feels, no matter what size you are. And so it doesn't seem like a priority until you start losing weight and you start feeling better. Then it's like, why did I wait, so long? But yeah, so people who are ready to do something now about their weight. Not a good fit for people who want immediate results, because weight loss is a journey, and there's gonna be, it's not like this the whole way. You might like gain 2 pounds and then lose again. Like it's gonna be a slippery slope. And so you have to be able to stay committed and focused on the end goal and stay positive. But I'm there to encourage you. I get people say, like, I feel discouraged. Every day I get messages, I'm discouraged, because of this and stuff. And that's why I'm there. I help motivate you.
How often do your patients see you? Like a weight loss person, is it once a week, or are you virtual? Like, do they come into the office?
Yeah, it depends. So it depends on what they want to do. But the minimum I would see them is when they start, to sign up, to educate them on everything. And then if they're on the weight loss medications, I do a 3-month follow-up. but sometimes they do the laser lipo. So then they would come in weekly and I see them all the time. And then if they're doing the natural weight loss program, I'll probably meet with them in 2 months because that's when they're going to be finishing up their natural weight loss program. So I'm trying to get better at always scheduling a follow-up, when I'm
Especially
have
with
someone in
weight
front of
loss,
me.
just have that accountability. I'm sure
Yeah.
coach can agree to that.
Yeah.
And the laser weight loss or the fat reduction, how often do they have to see you for that?
We recommend doing it weekly. They can do it twice a week if they really want to focus on it. It was meant to go with our natural weight loss program because you really do want to limit the carbs and fats for 3 days after you do it. And the natural weight loss program has a water requirement of a gallon a day, or at least 100 ounces a day. So they're going to see the biggest results from that. So I just try to educate everyone else who comes in because they'll see the ad for the lipo laser and they're like, yeah, I want to come in. And it's not like liposuction, one and done. You want to stack the results. I show them my testimonial. So I started the laser lipo when I first bought the business. And after 12 weeks, I lost 18 pounds in 2 pant sizes just doing laser lipo. I did take our appetite suppressant and fat burner drops for just 1 month, and those are really affordable at our office. And then we have a crystal protein, which helps retain muscle mass while you're losing weight. So that's a big part of our program too. So I did those, and I was able to flatten my stomach for the first time in my life because I got pregnant so young. So I've always kind of been a little bit, bigger in the middle. Yeah, so it works great, but you have to stay with it. So
what if somebody's just opposed to doing the supplements and things like that? Can they just do targeted, like little problem areas?
Yeah, they can do it. I just always, give them like the disclosure that it's up to you, your hydration, your movement, and limiting those carbs and fats. But you can do portion control on your own or try to eat healthier and do the lipo laser at my office. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's a question of when people start to really lose weight, somebody that has to lose a substantial amount of weight, and then they see the laxity in their skin and the things you can complement with your other services.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When someone refers you, what kind of experience can they expect for their client?
Yeah, so when clients come in, they'll do the health history forms, and then we'll meet in my office. I do their biometric scale reading. We go over how their fat is distributed in their body and their measurements. And then we talk about their goals and things that have worked or not worked for them in the past. And I educate them on the programs and services that are at my office, and then they pick which one is right for them.
Good.
Yeah.
We've all had this happen, but tell us about a moment where things didn't go as planned and how you handled it.
When we first bought the practice, it was supposed to come like move-in ready, and their nurse practitioner, I didn't get to meet her first, but the previous owner was with me for the first month that we bought the practice. And so we had a client that needed a refill, and the previous owner was texting, the nurse practitioner, Tiffany's here. She'd like to, chat with you and stuff. And she didn't answer for like 2 days. And I'm like, I need her number. Like, I need to talk to her. So I left her a voicemail and I sent her a text, and she responded and said, effective immediately, I am no longer an employee of Florida Weight Loss and Anti-Aging Center. And that was like a very stressful moment because I'm like, oh my gosh, this business is not a business without a nurse practitioner. And so my husband and I, we put our resources together and reached out to our social networks. I knew some nurse practitioners. He had his UCF fraternity group that he reached out to. And within a week, we had a new nurse practitioner, Christina, who's been our nurse practitioner since, and she's amazing. So
encouraging.
Yeah.
I have one more. What's a challenge or turning point that shaped how you run your business today?
I feel like everything that I've been through in life has kind of made me into who I am today, from being a young mom to, moving to Boston and having to start scratch, there, new career, new friends, no family around, to then having Xavier, who has special needs, and learning how to communicate with him, ABA techniques, becoming super, super patient. And then, yeah, all my experience as a psych nurse, as home health nurse and management. And I feel like everything's kind of helped me to where I am today.
Yeah, because you are so calm and you have quite the resume. Like, yes.
Thanks.
What's one non-negotiable you hold yourself to as a leader or business owner?
Honesty. So I'm not a salesperson. So that was like a mental struggle in the beginning is like, how do I become a salesperson? But then I started selling with just educating them on how things work and realistic expectations and, just like laying out how everything works. And yes, I could dive in more to their pain, or things like that I know would help me be more successful with sales. But honestly, everything's going good with just me being an educator, which is natural for me as a nurse. And so, yeah, just being able to expect honest results and realistic expectations when you come see me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
be their cheerleader.
Yeah.
So she did mention that she has a launch party coming up, which she's gonna have to put on Discord. But as a business owner, what are some of the biggest challenges from A to Z, like besides the nurse practitioner?
I mean, right now, like, I feel like I'm pulled in a lot of directions, because I have a small team, but it's mostly me. And so, yeah, that's like a challenge, is like jumping around too much from task to task. Like whenever I want to introduce something new, I have to come up with a consent form, a protocol, and talk to my nurse practitioner about it, and then make like content that I'm going to use on social media. Or right now, like I created a video on microneedling. I did a client's face the other day and she let me videotape it, but I just have it in the waiting room, like just to show like clients that are coming in. A challenge that's always probably going to be a challenge is no shows, because most of our advertising is on Instagram and Facebook. So people just click, and they might not really intend to show up for their appointment. And not knowing if someone's going to show up is a pain. Like I try to call everyone and confirm, but like I might have a lot of phone calls I need to make, but I don't want to be on the phone when someone's going to be possibly coming in any minute. So I'm trying not to let that hold me back. So like, just make those phone calls and they can just wait, if they come in. But, and then when it's busy, having, a client at my desk, a client on the red lights, a client on the Emsella chair, and someone in the waiting room, it's always like, okay, let's just pretend like I got this all under control and be like, can you excuse me for 1 second? I just have to get this person off the lights. And, I just got to schedule this appointment, before they walk out. Yeah. So,
yeah,
lots of
that's
stuff.
Worked in a medical or med spa type setting. This girl's doing every treatment herself and every phone call. And I sounded like a business coach, and I'm like, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. But
I did hire an administrative assistant. She's coming in 1 day a week to help me with phone calls.
Where's she?
And yeah, she's so she's helping with some organizational things like writing notes when we call on people and, just updating charts. And then, I have like, my marketing team, my husband who I consult with. And yeah, so I mean, I feel like I have support, even though I am primarily doing everything.
Where are you stuck? Where are you getting in the way of yourself or your business? Anywhere?
I just need to make 3 of me, and then I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's actually 5 of you. One to do the plasma pen, one to do the microneedling, one to do the
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anyone?
Can I say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to, you're so amazing.
Thanks.
Just to go on what we were saying about this, with the phone calls and confirming appointments and stuff, have you thought about implementing an automated CRM?
Oh yeah, there is. They send 3 texts. Like my dad's like, I got 3 text reminders for this appointment. Is that necessary?
Yeah.
And
Can you like make them respond live?
It does ask. Okay. Yeah. It says to type confirm to confirm your appointment. And sometimes they write confirm and they don't show up.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I try to call everyone the evening before, but like last night, I didn't even realize till this morning. I'm like, I didn't call anyone for today's appointments. Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
So I have gone to, many spas and salons and whatever throughout the years. And one of the things is, even if it is a consultation, they take a credit card number and they say, if you don't show up, then there will be a $25
Yeah.
charge. Consultation's free, but if you no show, there will be a charge because your time is valuable. You could have somebody
Yeah.
else in that spot, so that might be something to think about.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah. Yes.
So that was one thing I was gonna mention is like the holding fee for us. Of course, we do everything, and I've been in your shoes where I'm making all the calls.
Yeah.
I'm making like 100, 200 phone calls a day, taking the appointments, confirming appointments, and doing sessions. So
Yeah.
I feel you 100%. I don't know how I ever did that, but
Yeah.
our admin assistant is actually our lead person, so she
Yes.
makes those 100 phone calls a day.
Yeah.
But one thing that maybe you can implement right, I don't know how quickly you answer when people click on your ad, but Kathy calls them within like 60 seconds
Yes.
to 5 minutes. And but of course, speed to lead,
Yeah.
the sooner you get them in that moment where they're in pain.
Yes.
And you get to ask them like, hey, so what's actually your goal? So that's something else that's helped them to actually show up, where you kind of start a conversation on the phone and you're like, you know what, babe, this is actually really important. And instead of doing the fee, because she doesn't feel comfortable doing that, so we're not going to make her collect the
Yeah.
card. But what she does as an integrity tie down, and she says like, normally I take a card, but you don't seem like the type of person who's going to show up.
Yeah.
You label them, and then they're like, no, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't work all the
Mm.
So
Okay.
the integrity tie down.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I can
Yeah.
tell you're committed to your weight loss journey.
You can tell when you talk to them to confirm their appointment if they're going to show or not.
Yeah.
Like when they're like, yeah, I'll be there. It's like they're not going to show.
Yeah, right. See, but I'm your phone too. Like, you're just like, just call them, just do that. I'm like, oh, like,
Yeah.
do they even answer?
I get a text message whenever someone clicks on the ad and puts in their info as a new lead, and when they book an appointment. But a lot of times it's in the evening or at
They
night.
just ate a pack of cookies.
But the previous owner did do that, and he did like tell me to do that, and I've stopped doing that because I just can't. But the biggest thing that I have trouble with is following up with people who came in, did the consultation, want to, say I want to do this, I just need X, Y, and Z. Yeah, and then calling them. And like, I don't want my admin assistant to call them because I want it to be me, but then some of them just aren't getting called.
So this is where you're getting stuck.
Maybe this is a good thought. Well, I have two, but I feel like it sets you apart when it's not you calling.
Okay.
There's more of a reverence and a respect for your position when you're not the one
Yeah.
making the phone call.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't shy away from your position.
Yeah.
And then also, can I take the conversation a different way?
Yeah.
So I feel like you're so beautiful. And
Oh,
if I was
thank you.
in if I was in your place all the time, I'd be like, I need this and I need this. And I would be constantly like, I don't know, doing all the things.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
I'm doing things that I want to do for myself.
Yeah.
But you're
It's like,
Well,
and then I don't have time to do them as much as I want.
Because like you have all the access.
Yeah. But I don't have time to like do everything like I would like to, because it's like, do I want to try to make more money and call clients, or do I want to do a treatment for myself? It's like, what should I be doing?
Multitask.
You can't though. The Ancella, you can't use your phone while you're on because it's magnetic. You could reset your phone. And then the red light therapy, you're literally like stuck. I do my face too, so you can't. Yeah. So great. Yeah, I could set up my phone. I have the light and everything.
her husband's in the office.
Yeah, I was going to touch a little bit on the money, the upfront payment. So for the skin aesthetics, you have to do $100 down payment to hold your spot, because I have to block off probably like an hour and a half of my calendar for those, because it's 30 minutes alone for numbing cream before you start. So yeah, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Maybe try to book them on Tuesdays when our admin assistant is there, so that we can also do light treatments, because she can help me, do light treatments or something during that time. Yeah. So I'll figure it out when people start, booking more. But yeah, so it's a non-refundable $100 deposit. It goes towards the cost of your treatment, or you don't get it back if you cancel less than 24 hours notice. So that's on my consent form.
You sell products?
We do.
Skincare products that complement the.
We do. Yes. I just got the shipment. I haven't even opened the box yet because I haven't had time. But yeah, so we have like a multi-peptide eye cream. We had growth factor cream. So I got mostly things that are for like the post care for the skin treatments. Melifade helps with melasma or skin discoloration after your treatment. That's a serum. Vitamin C serum helps with post recovery. And then I got the gentle cleanser because you have to use a gentle cleanser, SPF 50 moisturizer, tinted moisturizer, and then I have my natural nutraceuticals that I sell.
Question? Do you have a question, Kelly?
I did, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I would strongly recommend what the other members recommended was a non-refundable deposit, because when someone doesn't show up, you're not only losing money in that appointment,
Yeah.
but you're losing the booking. So it's almost like you're losing
Yes.
double. And if you have, I'm sure you have a salon-specific software that you're using for the bookings and the payments and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You had a really good suggestion, but also if someone gets a certain service and it's usually recommended that they get it once a month, maybe send a reminder like,
Yeah.
within 24 hours,
Yes.
you can set up your CRM to do that. And then let's say, I don't know, microdermabrasion, whatever service, you're the expert, not me, but
Yeah.
say it's recommended to get that once a month, say, hey, you got this done 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We can set up a refresh, click here to book, and then it puts automation, so you're not having to do everything.
Yes.
And you're kind of duplicating yourself, but not having to physically make
Yes.
take that time when you can focus on your client.
Yeah.
So your software should be able to do all those things.
Yeah.
So if you want some help, not soliciting, but I help people with those kinds of things.
Okay.
So if you want some help on who to call to help set those things up, to automate and help you get more bookings, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And like our membership programs too, like I'm doing membership programs and they're, paying a monthly amount and they get free services every month. And I don't want like someone to be mad at me for like forgetting that they have a membership and getting billed and not scheduling to come in. Right. But I could send them a text every month, like, yeah, don't forget to book your, yeah, exactly.
Well, like you said, it's a little bit of work up front to set up all those automations.
Yeah, my marketing team does that though. I just tell them what to do and they, like they set up all that stuff. They do the wording and everything. So yeah, I just need to talk to them about it. And then for the skin treatments, I'll just need to create a new calendar that's just for skin treatments, and then the automated, monthly reminder or something can be set up with that. So we do have one where you prepay. So our ad, one of our ads is for a $49 laser lipo special. So your first session's $49. And so there is an option, it's optional to prepay for your session, but it's not, you can pay in person.
I think there should be a deposit. Chris wanted to ask a question before I asked your last question.
Okay, cool. One, thanks for sharing. Very, very enlightening. I feel like I understand you and what you do a lot better. I was just curious, who are like industry partners that could help you as well, or who like are there?
I need to team up with, like a gym, like Bamboo Athletics. Because so honestly, our weight loss programs, it is a caloric deficit. That's the best way. That's, the best weight loss is a caloric deficit, period. And so we don't recommend high intensity exercise while you're on a weight loss program because you could fatigue very easily. Your body is basically using your fat stores as the energy, burning them rather than the calories that you intake. But when people are getting near the tail end of their, weight loss journey, then we want to be like, hey, you need to go to a gym. You need to like do something to keep your weight off. So definitely need to partner with a gym. And then I don't know really otherwise.
We want her to partner with us.
Yeah. And I was, looking at your membership programs and thinking of how we could incorporate that.
Okay. I feel like, I don't know why the electric chair that you.
Electric chair.
I know it's not that.
I was like, sorry, we're out of time. That's what my dad calls it too. Yeah.
It looks like one too. It's like, where's the straps?
I don't know. I feel like Kristen, the chiropractic demonstration, you can't bring a necessary.
We talked about it. We did talk about it.
Yeah, I don't
I know.
think it would be easy to move or safe for the chair.
If there's
to
magnets
move
in it,
too
it's like
much.
an MRI machine.
It
like
is.
Yeah.
It's like it's like MRI machine with a Tesla battery.
Oh, but we're at
inside.
this thing. The event.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're doing demos. We're actually, so the flyer was made before we kind of organized how we're gonna. We are gonna. We do want people to RSVP for this because we are gonna try to book like 15-minute one-on-one time slots during the
Then after
event, so you
dark.
can do a demo on the chair while you're there. There
Do you
are.
have that event info on your page, or you can share it to the or something?
I don't think it's been posted. It's March 19th, a Thursday, in the evening, 4 to
Okay, so have
7.
a month to put this on your calendar. Plan
Can you
ahead.
share it in the Discord app?
Yeah.
When you get a chance? That way-
No metal implants.
Yeah, you can't have metal implants. I mean, as long as they're not really
I was like
your hips replaced is probably fine. And then you can't have like electric implanted stimulators, like pacemaker, defibrillator, spinal cord stimulator, pain pump, things like that.
Where do you see your business in 2 years?
Having staff that do things in the office and me having more time away from the office. Time to go to a gym and work out. Yeah.
That's the right answer, girl. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. You are incredible. You have
Thank
an
you.
incredible story. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
People need you.
Stay right there, we'll come around and do a quick photo.
Okay.
Hurry, because we have customers coming in.
Uh-oh.